We often hear grand statements like studies show that humans behave this way, or science proves that people prefer. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of those humans being studied, they're college students in the United States. And most of the time, they're psychology majors doing it for a Starbucks gift card. Let's talk about how Western psychology may have completely misunderstood human nature, and how this mistake affects everything from behavioral economics to mental health diagnoses around the world. In 2010, a landmark paper titled The Weirdest People in the World by Joseph Henrich and colleagues shook the foundations of the behavioral sciences. They pointed out that over 96% of psychological studies are conducted on people from what they called weird societies: Western, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic. This weird group represents just 12% of the world's population, yet researchers often generalize their findings to all humans. Take the famous ultimatum game, a staple of behavioral economics. Here's how it works. Person A gets $100 and can offer any portion to person B. If B accepts, they both keep their share. If B rejects, neither gets anything. Among American college students, person A usually offers around $48, and person B often rejects offers under $40, even though they're turning down free money. That sounds like a universal sense of fairness, right? Wrong. In the Peruvian Amazon, the Machiguenga tribe thought giving away half the money was absurd, and rejecting any offer at all? Even more ridiculous. In fact, in dozens of cultures around the world, reactions to the game vary dramatically. The conclusion? Our ideas of fairness aren't universal. They're cultural. In the West, we tend to think analytically. We group objects by category. A notebook, a magazine, and a newspaper all go together. But in East Asia, people think relationally. They might pair the notebook with a pencil, because one is used with the other. Even how we describe ourselves is different. An American might say, "I'm smart, sarcastic, and hardworking." A Kenyan farmer might say, "I'm the eldest son in a family of 6, and I herd goats." We in the West emphasize traits. Most of the world emphasizes roles and relationships. You've probably seen this image before. 2 lines, one with arrow tails, one with arrowheads. The one with the tails looks longer. This is called the Müller-Lyer illusion, and it works, for us. But in some African hunter-gatherer societies like the Sand people of the Kalahari Desert, there's no illusion. They see the lines as equal in length. Why? Because they live in environments without sharp angles and straight edges. They haven't internalized the same visual assumptions we have. In his book Crazy Like Us, journalist Ethan Waters explains how America hasn't just exported iPhones and Big Macs. We've exported our definition of mental illness. After the tsunami in Sri Lanka, Western psychologists flooded in diagnosing PTSD and prescribing pills. They bypassed traditional communal healing methods. In Japan, Western pharmaceutical companies rebranded depression as a cold of the soul, just to sell more antidepressants. In Hong Kong, the local version of anorexia had nothing to do with fear of being fat until the Western model rewrote it. We didn't just misunderstand these cultures, we reshaped them to fit our assumptions. Why does this happen? Because students are easy to study, they're nearby, they need the credit, they're relatively homogeneous, and they're, well, cheap. Researchers under pressure to publish quickly and frequently often choose the path of least resistance. As psychology professor Bradley Love noted, all our reference points for healthy cognitive function are based on 20-year-old college students. But our brains, and behavior, change over time and across cultures. So, is everything we know about psychology wrong? No. But we need to recalibrate. Cross-cultural research must become the norm, not the exception. We must distinguish between what is human and what is Western. And we must be humble enough to admit that what works in a lab in California may not work in a village in Zambia. Henrich himself doesn't say we should stop researching American students. He says, just don't call it human nature. The Enlightenment gave us the dream of universal truths, that we could uncover the hidden laws of the human mind. But maybe we're not a uniform species with one operating system. Maybe we're more like a patchwork of apps, each built by different cultures. To truly understand humanity, We need to leave the lab and listen to the world.